Hello, and welcome back to Kids Church at Home. My name is Sarah, and I'm so glad that you could join us today. Did you guys have a good Christmas? I sure did. You know, things were a little different than usual, and I didn't get to see a lot of my friends and family, but it turned out to be okay. It's like we learned during Advent. We can still have hope, peace, love, and joy through God's help, even when things don't go quite like we want them to. Even though a lot of our traditions had to change this year, God is still with us, and He is so good. Hey, that reminds me of something we've been learning. For the past 2 years, we've been learning about characteristics of God and Jesus. We learned from stories in the Old Testament all the way into the New Testament. That's a lot of learning. We learned about these stories because of a verse that's in the book of Hebrews, in the New Testament. Let's check it out. Hebrews. In Hebrews 13, verse 8, it says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Do you guys recognize that verse? We've talked about it a lot this year. That verse means that the things that we learn about God from the Bible are still true about God today. No matter what, we can always trust the truth that we know about God. I find it really comforting knowing that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That means that as things in my life change or the world around me is changing, I can still rely on things that I know are true about Jesus. It's so important to me. I even put it on my jacket so that I would never forget it. Something that I learned this year is that Jesus wants to be friends with everyone, even people who feel like they don't belong. I want to remember that, so even when I feel like I don't belong anywhere, I know that Jesus wants to be my friend. What about you? What is something that you learned about Jesus this year that you want to remember? We learned so much this year, maybe it was hard to remember all the things that you learned. Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we take a look at all the cool things we learned and did this year?
Today, we're learning a new word about God. We're learning that God is mysterious. God is everywhere. God is faithful to us. God is comforting.
Jesus' power calms our fears.
Jesus is wonderful. Jesus is loving. Jesus stands up for God. God is creative. God and Jesus are amazing.
Jesus' power calms our worries.
Jesus includes everyone. Jesus knows us. Jesus is our friend.
God is a treasure, so we value Him.
I have a couple of friends here to help me out today. Why don't you guys come on in? Perfect. Can you guys tell us your names?
I'm Jackson. And I'm Owen.
Hi, Jackson and Owen. Are you guys ready to see the best experiment ever? Oh, guys, we forgot something. Forgot the missing ingredient. We forgot the Mentos. You know, that kind of reminds me of what we talked about this week. How we need Jesus. Just like this Coke needs the Mento to make an explosion, we need Jesus in our lives. Okay, but before we do that, why don't we do a wardrobe change? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Whew. Yeah, this is much better. 3, 2, 1. Start dropping them. Wow, nice work, boys.
He told the leaders about how God had helped them with their plan to rebuild the wall around the city. They're Orbeez. Orbeez are a little bit of a mystery because they start out really, really small. You can't even see those. And then when you add water, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. But there is another mystery about them too. Check this out. Did you see that? It disappeared in the water. Check this out. Are you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1.
As I created my machines, I had to think about how each unique part would accomplish the ultimate goal. And when my machines worked, I felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. Maybe you even felt excitement just watching it. Just think,
God is our creator, and he made each little thing about us for a reason. Imagine the love and pride he feels when we use our talents to share his love and creativity with others.
Check out these pictures that my parents sent me recently. Do you guys know who these are pictures of? It's me. Here's me as a baby, and here's me as a toddler, and as a kid, probably about 10 years old, maybe the same age as some of you guys. What's that? It looks like a treasure map. I guess I should follow this, yeah? Let's go!
It's a buried treasure.
Imagine that I built this when I was a kid, and I've saved it for all these years because it's special to me. Look, it even turns on.
50 men from the group of prophets also went and watched from a distance as Elijah and Elisha stopped beside the Jordan River. Then Elijah folded his cloak together and struck the water with it. The water divided, and the two of them went across on dry ground. Whoa! Elijah divided the river, split the river, and they walked across on dry ground. Question: how do you think Elijah split the river with just his coat? God is mysterious, and we can't explain everything he does.
Bend your back. Bend your neck so you can still see me on screen. The woman had a bent back like this for 18 years. She was bent over while she walked to the market. She was bent over when she walked home. She was bent over when she cooked dinner. She was bent over when she hung out with friends. She was bent over when she did her work during the day. And she was bent over on the day that she went to the synagogue, which is also kind of like a church. Check out this verse. It's one of my favorites. In Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8, it says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. What part of time does that leave out? None. Jesus never changes. That means that the same things that were true about him in the Bible are still true about him today. And they'll also be true when you are all grown up too. That means that all of the characteristics of God that we learned about last year are still true today. And they can still help us learn about God.
Have you guys ever read Oh, the Places You'll Go? Come on, why don't you join me on this storybook adventure?
With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all.
How did you guys like the book?
Wow, that was such an awesome year. And we learned a bunch about Jesus. And you know what? 2020 was a lot different than we imagined, and I bet 2021 is gonna have a lot of changes too. But even when things change or unexpected things happen, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. No matter what happens, you can always count on him. Got it? Good. Goodbye for now, and have a happy new year.